Hey, what's up guys, it's Kazoo here and welcome to my first official FIFA 16 news video. And in this video I'm of course going to be talking about the new things EA have decided to add in this year's game. I will be talking about the new features, new skill moves, new visuals and my experience with the game. And my view is based on about 5 to 6 games of FIFA 16 gameplay. And this version I played was pre-alpha, so I'm not really too sure how many percent it was done. I assume it was about 50% done or 60% done, but it was a pre-alpha version, that is what I got told. So yeah, those are the things I will be talking about in this video. Of course, all the news EA have released today can be found in the description down below as well, in case you missed it. So we are going to start off with the new features. We got 3 big things we're going to be talking about today. We got confidence in defending, control the midfield, and moments of magic. So the first thing we're going to be talking about is confidence in defending, which mainly is that pace abusing is a lot less effective in FIFA 16. I know a lot of people say this every single year, but I've played the game myself and I felt it was a lot less effective compared to FIFA 15, where it was really easy to sprint dribble and just pace abuse in general with players like Ronaldo, Neymar, Messi, also players like Walcott, Aubameyang. You probably all know who I'm talking about, just players with high pace, above 90 pace or something. It was just really easy to beat defenders with just sprint dribbling. It was a really big thing in FIFA 15, and I feel it is a lot less effective in FIFA 16. It is more balanced, so you feel a difference when you're actually sprinting with the ball and without the ball. I had one moment when I was playing with Real Madrid against Barcelona and I was running down the wing with Ronaldo, and then all of a sudden PK was there. It was fairly easy for him to actually keep up with him and push Ronaldo off the ball. So it could be a thing that could be very annoying when you're playing the game, but I'm sure that a lot of people will find solutions, will find ways to actually get past it and eventually sort of make pace abusing a big thing again. That is how it goes every single year. I'm still looking forward to see how it actually goes when the game is released and when people are playing Ultimate Team as well. Since you know the gameplay on head-to-head is a lot different compared to Ultimate Team, that is how it goes every single year. But as I said, I think there will be still ways to sort of make pace abusing a big thing in FIFA 16 again. But I felt it is a lot more balanced, which is always nice to see as well. So now we move on to something in FIFA 15 that I don't think a lot of people actually used when it came to defending, and that is actually slide tackles. As soon as you mistime them in FIFA 15, your player just lays on the ground and you are not really able to do anything anymore with that certain player, since he doesn't really get up that quick. But in FIFA 16, players get up very quickly now, so they sort of try to make up for the mistake for their failed attempt at a slide tackle. That is awesome as well. So when you pull off a slide tackle in FIFA 16 and you miss your opponent, you miss the ball, you're still able to sort of make up for it, which is pretty sweet. So defenders are actually trying to get back to their position way faster, and in general that makes them a lot more smarter compared to FIFA 15, which is awesome to see as well. So we move to the final thing in confidence in defending, which is going to be about goalkeepers. You all know in FIFA 15 EA announced that they were working on a completely new engine for goalkeepers, but in my opinion, and I know for a lot of others as well, it wasn't really one of the greatest features they added, because goalkeepers in general, they were an absolute joke. They made some of the worst mistakes possible, and those mistakes should be fixed in FIFA 16. I'm not going to say that goalkeepers are perfect, because you are still able to score long shots. I even did it myself, but I think like the really dumb decisions they sometimes make are actually gone in FIFA 16, which is awesome. And the main reason why they were actually able to change it is because of the community. A lot of people actually uploaded those certain clips where goalkeepers made mistakes to YouTube, and EA actually watched them as well, which is awesome to see. So nice thing from the community as well to sort of help EA improve their game, which is a really nice thing to hear. So yeah, that is pretty much everything for confidence in defending. Then we move on to control the midfield, and the same thing kind of counts for the midfielders. They are also a lot smarter compared to the previous FIFA games, which is great to hear. They are more alert when it comes to intercepting balls and tackling players of the ball, which is really nice. So it is a lot easier to actually counter attacks. There's also a new way of passing. If you hold RB or R1 on the PlayStation and press the pass button, you can now sort of do a really powerful through pass, which is actually very accurate. In the previous years in FIFA 15, if you pressed RB or R1 and pressed the pass button, you were able to do a fancy shot, but it actually moved to LT or L2 plus the pass button. You can see the controls on the screen if it is confusing, but yeah, that is something that EA changed as well, which is nice to see. Then we move to the final thing, which is moments of magic. Probably my favorite new feature they've added this year, because because there are a few things they've changed slightly when it comes to actually dribbling with the ball. Previously in FIFA 15 and also in FIFA 14, I do believe, when you were dribbling and you held L1 or LB, you were able to do very, very quick turns, and also were able to stop entirely when you were actually dribbling. That was something I don't think a lot of people used a lot when they were playing, so I think that was the reason why EA actually decided to actually take it out of the game and replace it with something else, which is called no touch dribbling. You're now able to actually control the player without moving the actual ball, so you're pretty much doing sort of body feints while actually dribbling or standing, and it looks so nice. It looks very similar to what Messi usually does when he is dribbling. You can look it up on YouTube. It looks really cool. Like, Messi is always moving his body when he is dribbling, doing those body feints and stuff, makes defenders really confused. That is something you can also do in FIFA 16. I've done it quite a few times and I really like it. I know a lot of people that like to use skill moves as well will love this feature a lot, and I think it will be a feature that a lot of people actually in general will use as well, since it is also very effective. Then we move to something else, which is dynamic crossing. There are now a lot more variations when it comes to crossing, and they also seem to be very realistic. I'm kind of curious to see if they're actually still balanced, because in FIFA 15 they were, but in FIFA 14 they were so overpowered, so hopefully in FIFA 16 they aren't really that overpowered, even though it is a feature that actually got improved. So yeah, I'm curious to see if headers or just crosses in general are going to be a big thing again in FIFA 16. Then we move to the final thing, which is clinical finishing. As always, shots are more realistic every single year. It is something EA spent time to, and it is also something I'm looking forward to, because in FIFA 15 you were able to score some crazy goals. You were able to score some awesome outside foot shots, some crazy finesse shots. I'm not really too sure if you're still able to score those, but that is something we will know in a couple months time. So yeah, that is everything when it comes to the new features. Now we're gonna move on to new skill moves, and as you all know, I'm a really big fan of skill moves in FIFA. And if you haven't been living under a rock, you know that one skill move in particular actually made the news a couple months ago. It was done by a player in the Premier League called Yannick Bolasie, plays for Crystal Palace. He sort of invented his own skill move, which is called the Bolasie flick. You can see it on the screen, and that skill move is actually going to be in FIFA 16. It looks amazing. I think it is going to be a 5-star skill move. I've actually seen it in game. I don't know the controls. If I knew, I obviously would have explained them in this video, but yeah, it looks seriously insane in game. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to pull it off in game, since, as I told you before, I don't know the controls. But I know that EA actually going to be putting it in the trailer that will be up today, so make sure to check it out. If it is already up when this video is posted, then I'll leave a link to the trailer in the description down below as well, so feel free to check it out. I'm really psyched to actually use the skill move when the game is actually released, and I don't know if there are any more new skill moves in the game, but hopefully we will hear that in a couple months time, maybe around Gamescom or something. Now we move on to the visuals. The first thing I'm going to be talking about are a few new things they have added into the game, a couple new animations, a couple new things. So you are now able to celebrate with the cameraman. So when you score, you pretty much run down to a certain cameraman that is like standing alongside the pitch. You run towards him, and then your screen changes into the view of the cameraman, and you can actually see your player just messing around with the camera and stuff. It is something I think is pretty awesome, also pretty realistic, because you see a lot of players actually just running down to the cameraman and doing all kinds of stuff. You've probably seen it in one of the trailers EA already put up. There's also vanishing spray, so when you pick up a free kick, you will see those vanishing sprays like right in front of the wall, or when the ball is supposed to be. It disappears after a few seconds. Also in game you will see it when you take the free kick. After a couple seconds it disappears automatically, which is also something realistic, but it's not really something I am hyped for. I think a lot of people will kind of compare it to the corner flag thing EA decided to add in the game in FIFA 15. There are a few more things. The weather now also changes throughout the match, which is something I always wanted in FIFA. Dynamic weather is something I think is also pretty awesome. I'm not really too sure though if it can go from sunny to dark to like nighttime or something. I don't think that is possible, but it can go from rain to no rain and from snow to no snow. So that is also something that is pretty cool. I think dynamic weather is, as I told you before, something that I always wanted in FIFA 15. So yeah, those are pretty much all the all the new things they have added. I'm sure there will be a lot more new stuff revealed as well during Gamescom and stuff. So that is also something I'm still looking forward to. Hopefully there will be a lot of new stuff for Ultimate Team, Pro Clubs, and even Career Mode as well. Now we move on to the final thing, which is my experience with the game itself. So when I first came to the event and I was like looking at other people playing FIFA 16 and stuff, I actually thought they were playing FIFA 15 because to me it looked so similar. Like the whole visual aspect of the game looked so much similar to FIFA 15. It plays a lot different though, so it's not even comparable when you're playing FIFA 15 or playing FIFA 16, but it plays very different. So your first impression of the game might be a little bit like off, might be a little bit different, but as soon as you're playing the game, you're completely hooked onto it and you just don't want to switch back to FIFA 15. That's what I had anyway. But in terms of visuals, in terms of like looking at the game when you are playing the game, it looked a lot like FIFA 15. That was something I was kind of disappointed with, but I don't really think what I could have expected else, since FIFA is of course a game that doesn't really change that much each year. But it is something I kind of noticed and I wasn't really that impressed with, to be honest. The second thing I wasn't really impressed with as well were the menus. The menus in FIFA 15, in my opinion, were really nice, but in FIFA 16, I just don't really like them. I've decided to remake them in Photoshop. You can see the screenshots now on your screen. They decided to go with a light blue color. That is a color they seem to use in a lot of other things. You've seen it in this video as well. I'm not really a big fan of it. Like, that's just my opinion. You can let me know your comments in the comments down below. These are not official screenshots. I told you before that I remade them in Photoshop. So don't go and say these are the official menus of FIFA 16 blah blah. They do look very similar though, but there might be like minor changes compared to the official menus, since I of course don't have the official screenshots. But yeah, these are the menus. As I told you before, I'm not really a big fan of them, but you can let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Now, in terms of gameplay again, the game kind of feels less paced compared to FIFA 15, but that's, I think, all because I was playing head-to-head seasons. In terms of women's football, I only played one game, which was Germany against USA. I think those were the only teams who were able to play, and it is fun for a game or two, but then I think anyway you're completely bored of it. In terms of like gameplay and stuff, when you're playing with women, it is almost the exact same. You don't really feel like a huge difference, but it's fun to play with them for a few games. But after that, I think you will get bored of them very quickly. Maybe in FIFA 17 or something, they might be adding something completely new for women football as well. Maybe a separate Ultimate Team or something. That could be a lot more interesting for me anyway, since that's the game mode I usually play the most. But anyway, guys, that is pretty much going to be the end of this video. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, then make sure to leave a like. Would be very much appreciated. Also, make sure to subscribe if you are new around here. I'm sure that I have probably missed a couple things, so make sure to check out the article that EA put on their website as well, because there might be something I completely forgot about to actually put in this video as well. But anyway, guys, that is going to be the end. I'd like to thank you very much for watching, and I will see you guys later. Bye bye.